Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your AEW Dynamite, NXT, MLW, and Being the Lead results. Impact Superstar and Indie sensation Joey Ryan shared this video link on his Twitter earlier, and where he stars from Ring of Honor. He and other stars from Ring of Honor, AEW, and one former WWE star did their own take of the Don't Rush Challenge. Participants include Sonny Kiss, Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander, Warhorse, David Arquette, Dan Hausen, Hurricane Helms, and more. NXT superstar Brendan Vink is reportedly in a line for a big push. Vink has been teaming with Shane Thorne on NXT and Raw as of late. Last night's Raw saw Australian NXT superstar defeat Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. After being encouraged by MVP for the past week, Vink pinned Ricochet to get the win. On the Raw segment, MVP interrupted Charlie Caruso's post-Raw interview with Vink and Thorne. MVP dismissed Caruso and said Vink and Thorne can resume the interview in the VIP lounge, where they will get the respect they deserve. Regarding Vink's push, WWE officials have considered the former Elliot Sexton to be a project in the developmental for some time, and WWE partner Evolve used him to build them up. That push in Evolve would have continued to get bigger if it weren't for schedule change due to COVID-19. Vink's recent main roster appearance is said to be the beginning of trying to make him into a real star and to build towards a long-term push. According to PW Insider, this early stage of the push was described as similar to when current WWE Universal Champion Braun Strowman was a member of the Wyatt family, back when WWE Chairman Vince McMahon saw him as a long-term project that they wanted to build for the future. Vink is currently a similar position, and this is the beginning of MVP's new faction. Despite the recent Raw appearances, both Vink and Thorne are still listed as members of the NXT roster. Being the Elite, episode 202. At this link, Major League Wrestling issued the following press release announcing a new partnership with DirecTV for pay-per-view distribution. The two semifinal matches in the TNT title tournament, Cody versus Darby Allin and Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes, plus the People Nugget, McNugget versus the Exalted One, and an extreme tag match between the Best Friends and team of Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. MLW Fusion, episode number 108, can be found in this link, and it's called Injustice versus Vikingo. Octagon, the matches are Injustice versus Vikingo, Octagon Jr., and Myzteziz Jr. Super Series of the week number 4. IWA Mid-South Wrestling has announced on social media that they will be resuming live events with fans starting next month. Check out the press release with all these details here, with Governor Holcomb stating that the reopening of the state of Indiana will come on June 14th. We are happy to announce our return to live wrestling shows come on June 18th and 19th. Thursday, June 18th, will be our debut at our new venue in New Albany with IWA Mid-South and Battle Broads presenting Battle of the Sexes. Friday, June 19th, will be our return to Indianapolis with Unfinished Business. Thursday, June 25th, will be Queen of the Death Matches in New Albany. Also, Friday the 26th will be the Prince of the Death Matches in New Albany. Masks will be provided if you like one. Broken Brilliance video by Matt Hardy. I just think AEW has been fined $10,000 by the Maryland State Athletic Commission over their unsanctioned Lights Out match between current AEW champion Jon Moxley and current AEW World Tag Team Champion Kenny Omega. The order seen below notes that the AEW was the promoter for the pro wrestling match between Omega and Moxley at AEW Full Gear pay-per-view from the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland on November 9th, 2019. A match that saw the licensed talent suffer lacerations that caused blood to be introduced into the ring. The commission determined that administration charges against AEW were appropriate for alleged violations of Maryland law pertaining to pro wrestling contests and related regulations. The filing mentions how Moxley and Omega used foreign objects, including a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, a broom with bristles wrapped in barbed wire, and a tool similar to an ice pick. It also states Moxley used a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire to strike Omega 3 times across his back and caused lacerations from which Omega bled. It also details how Omega used the broom to cause Moxley to bleed from his head, shoulder, and back. The commission alleges that AEW violated multiple regulations, including the conduct of wrestling contests and responsibility of promoter. AEW agreed to pay a civil penalty to the commission in the amount of $10,000 within the 30 days of the order. It was also noted that while the commission acknowledges that AEW took precautions to reduce the potential for injury to both competitors by using materials to stimulate injury and merely give the appearance of bleeding, blood was still introduced into the ring and other instances during the match through deliberate and repeated actions of the two wrestlers, as scripted by AEW. AEW Dark this week can be found this link. First match, 0-2, number 10, with Brody Lee versus 0-1, Ryan Piles. Winner becomes 1-2, number 10, by pinfall. AEW Double or Nothing 2020 pay-per-view commercial. Second match we saw had 10-13, Sammy Guevara versus 0-2, John Dean. Guevara connects with a burning GTS to pick up the win. Winner became 11-13, Sammy Guevara by pinfall. Third match, 3-1, Colt Cabana versus 8-12, Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford. Sabian delivers a low blow behind the referee's back. Sabian rolls Cabana over to pick up the win. Winner became 9-12, Kip Sabian by pinfall. AEW President Tony Khan revealed prior to the live taping of Dynamite that talent and staff had undergone COVID-19 testing to assure that no one was carrying the virus. Commentator Tony Schiavone will give further details at this link about what the testing protocol included on the Dynamite post show on the company YouTube channel. AEW taped a couple of episodes ahead of their Double or Nothing pay-per-view. The following press release was issued to us earlier in the morning, announcing that Tommy Revolutionary Wrestling will be running an event on June 12th and will be the first wrestling show in Florida to allow fans since the COVID-19 pandemic put the country on lockdown. Here are details. Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling has announced it will hold Epidemic on Friday, June 12th at the Space Coast Convention Center in Cocoa, Florida. Limited capacity is allowed for now, but that may change to allow more closer to the event. The show features Atomic Heavyweight Champion Wes Briscoe, Atomic Next Level Champion Shannon Moore, WWE Legend Gangrel, WWE Legend Thrasher of the Headbangers, and more. All ages welcome. Tickets available on eventbrite.com. Keyword Atomic Wrestling. More info at facebook.com/Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling. This is the first wrestling show in Florida to be announced with fans allowed in attendance. And I might contact myself for a future event when my new company comes out. And it will be called Pro Wrestling Entertainment. But this is the first wrestling show in Florida to be announced with fans in attendance. Dark Side of the Ring trailer for the Road Warriors episode at this link. The last ride of the Road Warriors will premiere next Thursday on May 12th, 10 p.m. on Vice TV. You can see the new trailer for the episode at that link. The trailer shows new footage of Animal and former WWE Tag Team Champion Barry Dawson, who played Smash of Demolition, the Repo Man, and Blacktop Bully. Former NXT superstar Kimberly debuted on Impact. She's playing the role of someone from Jessica Habit's past life. Lee and Havoc has actually a cross pass a few times in the past. Lee was trained by Drew Gulak and at the CZW Academy. She also appeared in Chicago for several years, where she was a babyface champion. She was most recently been seen on Stardom in Japan. And also Kimberly was also in the Glow, Gorgeous Ladies in Wrestling, or the show was on previously. Tessa Blanchard became champion, and then champion everywhere. Well, babyface at the Academy. Give me that link there. She was hired by WWE for the NXT brand in 2016, but rarely brought onto TV. She was released in 2018, later revealed that she previously had been battling alcoholism. She assures everyone she has been sober for some time now. AEW announced that on-air talent Dasha Current, a.k.a. Dasha Gonzalez, formerly known as Dasha Fuentes in WWE, will be a competitor on The Rock's Titan Games 2020. All new season of Dwayne at The Rock Johnson's competition show. Season 2 of Titan Games is set to premiere on May 25th. And very own Dasha Current is amongst the competitors. AEW tweeted. Dasha retweeted AEW's post and thanked them for the support. She wrote, "Another reason why I love AEW Wrestling. Thank you for all your love and support always. I hope I made y'all all proud." Also noted, the second season of Titan Games will premiere on NBC with the big 2-hour event on May 25th. The season will feature pro athletes known as Celebrity Titans go up against some of the toughest obstacles yet. Designed by host The Rock and his team. The season will feature $100,000 up for grabs for the finale, with a spot for one male competitor and one female competitor. If the Celebrity Titans win, their $100,000 will go to charity. Following Celebrity Titans has been announced, two-time Olympic gold medalist winning and current undisputed boxing world champion Clarissa Shields, NFL Pro Bowler Joe Thomas, NFL Super Bowl champion Victor Cruz, Olympic gold medal winning snowboarder Hannah Teeter, professional stunt woman and American Ninja Warrior star Jesse Kraft, and 5-time UFC champion Tyrone Woodley. Besides former WWE champion The Rock, serving as host, executive producer, and course designer, the show has more pro wrestling connections as WWE NXT talent Robert Stone competed in season 1. As NXT superstar Emily Anzulis. I knew Robert Stone did, but I did not know Emily Anzulis. But I've never seen Emily on NXT. NXT episode opens up from the USA Network with a video package live from the tape delay from closed set for Performance Center Orlando. Tom Phillips welcomes us at ringside. He says that's tomorrow Ronaldo and the Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix, but they're not in the building tonight. Johnny Gargano versus Dominic Dijakovic. First match. We'll go right to the ring for tonight's opener, and first comes Johnny Gargano. Tom joins Morrow and Beth for some of the discussion. Dominic is out next as Alicia Taylor does ring introductions. The bell rings, and here we go. Gargano with a few shots, using the referee between them. Dijakovic rocks him. Gargano tries to use his speed, but Dijakovic rocks him and drops him. Dijakovic gets Gargano around and talks some trash. Dijakovic beats Gargano in the corner and back out, climbing into the mat. Dijakovic picks Gargano up and stands him over his knee. Then launches him across the ring for a 2 count. Dijakovic chops and more offense. Gargano comes off the top, but lands on his feet. He sells the knee like he landed bad. Dijakovic ends up dropped as Gargano unloads with strikes. Gargano keeps control, beating Dijakovic while he's down in the corner. Dijakovic counters with a shot to the gut, but Gargano drops with a big kick. Gargano keeps control until Dijakovic turns him inside out with a counter with another close 2 count. Dijakovic keeps Gargano down with the big forearms and stomps. Gargano holds on to his leg now. Dijakovic brings him back to his feet, but puts him right back down with a shot to the jaw. Dijakovic works Gargano in the corner while talking some trash. Dijakovic knocks Gargano to the other corner and keeps beating on him. Candice LeRae comes walking down to the ringside, and now as Dijakovic shocks Gargano across his ribs. Dijakovic warns LeRae, and she asks how dare he. Gargano takes advantage of the distraction and knocks Dijakovic out to the floor. Gargano runs the ropes and nails a new suicide dive to Dijakovic. LeRae comes back down the ramp and checks on her husband as we return to commercial. Back from the break, Dijakovic is still dealing with both, but he's in control of Gargano in the ring. Gargano counters the move and drives a knee for a close roll-up. Dijakovic counters and goes for the feast your eyes, but it's blocked. They trade counters, and Gargano nails the super kick for a 2 count. LeRae distracts the referee from the apron, while Gargano exposes the turnbuckle. Referee catches him and stops him. Gargano approaches Dijakovic, but Dijakovic grabs him by the throat and drives him down with a chokeslam. Gargano kicks out just in time. Dijakovic goes up to the top, but Gargano grabs him. Dijakovic fights him off, but Gargano keeps fighting. Dijakovic some showing off and athletic moves that shocks Gargano. Gargano comes out of the corner charging, but Dijakovic levels him with a big super kick, sending him again. Dijakovic works Gargano over in the corner and goes for a big power bomb. Gargano hangs on and pulls the turnbuckle cover all the way off from earlier. Gargano sends Dijakovic into the exposed turnbuckle as he goes down, and Gargano goes to the apron and hits the big DDT. One final beat from the apron to the mat for the pin and the win. Winner of the match, Gargano. After the match, Gargano and LeRae celebrate as the music plays. We go to replays. Dijakovic recovering at ringside as LeRae and Gargano stand tall together in the ring. We see how the Imperium destroyed Championship Thatcher and NXT champion Matt Riddle last week. We cut backstage with Martel and Fabian Aichner. Martel says Imperium has proved since last year that they are an unstoppable force. Martel goes on and also mentions Alexander Wolf and NXT UK champion Walter, who are stuck overseas right now. They go on about Riddle and Thatcher. Aichner says they destroyed their pathetic game show last week because it was nothing but an embarrassment. Aichner says they are destined to win, and they are now officially challenging for the NXT Tag Team titles. They are Imperium. To them, the match is sacred, says Martel. They pose to end the segment. Still to come segment, Tournament to Crown Interim NXT Cruiserweight Champion will continue with Jack Gallagher and Akira Tozawa and more Group B action. Back to commercial. Back to the break, we see Io Shirai backstage warming up for her title shot in NXT Cruiserweight Interim Title Tournament match. Akira Tozawa, who is 1-0 versus Jack Gallagher, who is 0-1. We go to ring, outbursts Akira for the next match in the tournament to crown interim NXT Cruiserweight Champion. So it all stops and looks at the title belt on display at ringside. Gallagher is out next as Group B action continues in the round-robin style tournament. Gallagher also stops and looks at the title before dropping his cape and entering the ring. He's not carrying his umbrella anymore, just his cape. Bell rings and Gallagher explodes at Tozawa, going right to work on him. Gallagher with an early octopus submission. Gallagher keeps control and hits a quick Samoan drop early on. Tozawa counters and mounts an offense of his own. Tozawa with a big German suplex to send Gallagher out for a breather. Gallagher comes back in and Tozawa goes up top. Gallagher goes back out for a breather. Gallagher catches Tozawa as he's coming down from the top and follows to the floor. Gallagher with more strikes while Tozawa is down. Gallagher comes back in the ring and drives the knee to the back, keeping Tozawa grounded. In the middle of the ring, Tozawa screams out. Gallagher focuses on the hands and arms now. Tozawa finally gets an opening and hits a big hurricanrana. Tozawa misses the cyclone kick. Then takes some more and both tumble out to the floor as the referee counts. They trade chops and more on the apron. Gallagher tells Tozawa to keep the chops coming. Tozawa ends up countering and dropping Gallagher on his head on the apron. Tozawa brings it back in and goes up top. Tozawa leaps out with a huge senton for the pin and the win. After the match, Tozawa stands tall as his music plays. We go to replays and gets an updated look at the tournament standings. Tozawa is now 2-0. Tom confirms that Jake Atlas versus Kushida for later on. Tozawa is interviewed at ringside after the match. He sends a message to El Hijo Fantasma, his next challenge in the tournament. Tozawa says he's never wrestled Fantasma and he doesn't know him, but he will beat him. So to come, Finn Balor is here. Back to commercial. Back to break. Tom sends a video package on WB participating in the Real Heroes Project to honor medical workers on the front lines of the coronavirus pandemic. Next, we get Zia Lee versus Chelsea Green. We go to the ring. Out first comes Zia Lee for the next match. Robert Stone was out to introduce Chelsea Green of the Robert Stone brand. The bell rings and Green drops Lee. Going right to work in the corner, Lee comes back with an elbow to the face. Lee takes Green down and grounds her by her arm. Stone watches from ringside as Lee drops Green with a clothesline and a big kick. Lee yells at Green as she rocks into the corner. Aya suddenly appears at ringside as the match continues. Aya grabs Lee's leg at one point, but Lee sends her back. Green fails to really capitalize until Aya interferes again. Green follows up with the I'm prettier for the win to win the short match. Chelsea Green wins. After the match, Green stands tall with Stone as the music hits. We go to replays. Stone helps Aya back up to her feet. Aya ends up going to the back by herself as Robert Stone brand celebrates with Lee while Lee recovers. We go backstage to the Velveteen Dream. He says the time has finally come for Adam Cole. Minutes, seconds, we've reached our moment. We, as in you and I, Adam Cole, and the Dream. For the NXT title on NXT. No Adam Cole, it is not a dream. It's more than that. It's Dream over. Dream snaps his fingers to end the segment. Morrow hypes the debut of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Back to commercial. Karrion Kross versus Leon Ruff. Formerly known as Killer Kross. Back to the right, we see a black and white background on the big screen. A bird is flying towards us. A shadowy figure is there. It's Scarlett. Karrion Kross comes out and stands in front of her, leading her down the ramp. Scarlett gets in front of him now, and it's clear who this is now. She mouths the words to their entrance, fall and pray. Repeats over and over. They hit the ring, and it lights up with a fiery look now. Kross looks like a madman as he yells out. It has some talent. Leon Ruff from the ball waits in the ring. Bell rings and Kross charges. Launches Ruff back onto his deck with a brutal doomsday Saito. The smoke from the entrance is still clearing around the ring. Kross stares down at Ruff as he slowly recovers. Kross with another huge doomsday Saito. Kross stalks Ruff for a few seconds and drops him onto his knee, onto the Kross jacket for the quick submission win. After the match, Kross keeps the wide-eyed look on his face. Tom says he's the devil. Scarlett joins him in the ring, and they stand tall together. It's music plays. We got to replays. Video package for tonight's NXT Women's Title match. Back for the right, Matt Riddle is with Champions Disaster. They are asked about Imperium attacking last week. Riddle says it's a tragedy that newly Bros show was destroyed. Riddle says there will be a match if Thatcher wants one. Thatcher agrees, and they are all for knocking out Imperium and accepting their challenge from earlier. NXT Women's Title match, Io Shirai versus Charlotte Flair. We go to the ring. Out first comes Io Shirai. NXT Women's Champion Charlotte will outlast. Formal ring introduction from Taylor. Bell rings and they go at it. Flair grounds her with a headlock. Shirai sends her to the ropes, but Flair levels her with a big shoulder. Shirai shows off some with the counters. Shirai shows off some more and drop kicks Flair into the ropes. Shirai yells out and wants Flair to bring it. Shirai backs Flair into the corner, and the referee backs her off. Flair ends up taking Shirai down and slamming her face first with the scissors. Flair grounds Shirai with a figure 4 head scissors now. Flair launches Shirai onto her back and then kicks up. Flair taunts Shirai and sends her into the turnbuckles. Flair with a chop to the corner. Flair knocks Shirai around the ring. Shirai counters and goes for a sunset flip, but Flair drops down and punches her. Shirai looks to mount some offense, but Flair kicks her back with a big boot in the corner. Flair keeps her choke and runs over Shirai with a clothesline as we go back to commercial. Back for the break, Shirai tries to turn her around. Shirai keeps going, but Flair levels her out of the corner. Shirai has Flair up top. Shirai with a big Frankenstein from the top, but Flair kicks out of 2. Flair comes back with a backbreaker. Flair goes back for a moonsault, but misses. Shirai ends up hitting a 619. Shirai with a running double knees in the corner for another 2 count. Shirai keeps the toe and goes for a moonsault, but lands on Flair's knee instead. Flair comes right back with a huge boot, but Shirai kicks out of 2. Flair can't believe it. Flair goes for a powerbomb, but Shirai fights out of it. Shirai sends Flair face first into the corner. Flair rolls out to the floor for a breather. Shirai goes to the top for a moonsault to the floor, but she lands hard as Flair moves out of the way. Flair grabs the kendo stick from under the ring and attacks Shirai with it for disqualification or DQ finish. Referee immediately calls for the bell as Flair retains the title. Flair continues to attack at ringside. Flair pulls Shirai around the ring post and goes to use the steel steps, but Rhea Ripley makes a save. Her first appearance since losing the title at WrestleMania 36, Ripley brings Flair into the ring, but Flair retreats. Ripley talks some trash and wants Flair to come back and fight. Shirai limps into the ring and yells at Ripley in Japanese. Ripley tells her to shut up and leaves the ring. Ripley walks in the back as Shirai hobbles after her. Ranting, Ripley tells Shirai to shut up again. Ripley exits to the back as we return to commercial. Back for the break, Mackenzie Mitchell stops Ripley outside, asking about her first appearance since WrestleMania 36. Ripley says she's tired of Charlotte Flair and her bow down crap. Yeah, Flair beat her at WrestleMania, but that was just one night. Ripley would like to see Flair do it again. Shirai approaches, still yelling at her in Japanese. This leads to a fight, breaking out until the officials separate them. We see NXT champion Adam Cole backstage pacing. Interim Cruiserweight title tournament match, Kushida 1-0 versus Jake Atlas 1-0. Battle of the undefeated. We go to the ring for tonight's second title tournament match as Kushida makes his way out. Atlas was out next. We have some technical difficulties on the end, by the match ends fairly quickly after Kushida makes Atlas tap out after back and forth offense for just a few minutes. Which makes Kushida 2-0. After the match, Kushida stands tall as his music hits. We're going to replace Kushida's interview at ringside next to the title on display. Kushida says his win is to honor the Cruiserweight champions of the past. And he will be the next one. Finn Balor comes out to the perch and takes the mic. He says he used to think the biggest snakes were in the office, but now he's not sure. Balor says wrestling playbook 101 is to attack the guy and get the push. The big push, music, lights, smoke, lasers. Now you're in the ring with the Prince. He's a patient guy, but whoever attacks him, the push you're expecting won't be a push. It'll be a squash. Balor's music hits again, and he sets the mic down. Tom confirms Imperium versus Riddle and Thatcher for next week. Cameron Grimes versus Denzel DeJournay was up next. Back in the ring. We go back to the ring. Out comes Cameron Grimes for his return. Denzel DeJournay awaits in the ring. The bell rings. The Grimes immediately goes for the flying stomp, but DeJournay ducks and goes to work. Denzel slams Grimes. Grimes comes right back. This time, cave in for the pin. He gets a win. After the match, Grimes stands tall as his music plays. Go to replays. Grimes takes the mic after the match and speaks in the ring. He says times are changing and it's grind time. He says look around. He deserves better than this. He mentions Finn Balor, what Finn Balor just said, and says if Balor was out here now, we see Balor walking down from the back. Grimes goes on about how he would slap the taste out of Balor's mouth. Balor is in the ring now. Grimes turns around, and Balor tells him to slap him. Grimes pleads and tries to calm Balor down. Balor wants Grimes to slap him in the face. Grimes goes to attack, but Balor takes him down and assaults him. Balor nails the sling blade. Grimes retreats to the floor. Balor looks at the camera and says, there's a snake hiding in the long grass in the back. But he will find them, and when he does, the best way to kill the snake is to chop his head off. Balor stares at Grimes down on the outside as his music hits. As Balor makes his exit again. Another video for tonight's main event. Back to commercial. Back to the break. Balor and Grimes is confirmed for the next week. NXT title match, Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole. We'll go back to the ring for tonight's main event. Velveteen Dream comes out first. Adam Cole was out next. We get formal ring introduction from Taylor. Bell rings and they go out to start. Dream ends up taking Cole down on the floor, keeping control. They bring him in the ring and Cole rocks Dream with two big kicks. Cole looks to go for the last shot early on, but Dream counters with a flying buncher for a 2 count. In the middle of the ring, Dream unloads with strikes in the corner as the referee warns him. Dream takes Cole back up, but Cole slides down to the apron. Dream counters and drops Cole's neck over the top. Cole fights Dream off, and they may have went for a rake to the eye. Dream counters, and Cole comes off the top, hitting him with a reverse SEO. Dream covers for another pin attempt, but Cole kicks out. Dream goes back to his feet as we return to commercial. Back for the break, Dream unloads with big strikes. Cole drops Dream with a kick in the corner. Cole talks trash. Dream rocks him with a clothesline him twice. Dream keeps control with an elbow off the ropes. Dream unloads with lefts and rights in the corner. Dream jumps to the top and flies off, taking him back down for a close 2 count. Dream rolls up and gets Cole on his shoulders. Cole fights off, but Dream super kicks him for another 2 count. Cole with another big counter and a backstabber. Dream kicks out right out before the 3 count. More back and forth on their feet. They trade holds, and Cole nails an enziguri. Cole with the Ushigoroshi for another 2 count. Cole talks more trash as they both struggle to get up. Dream rocks him from his knees. Cole fights back. Dream kicks back. They continue to trade big strikes while getting back to their feet. Cole sends Dream to the apron and then knocks him off to the floor. Dream fights back from the floor and drops Cole. Dream goes up top and flies, but Cole super kicks him. Cole also falls, but Dream barely falls on the top of him. Cole kicks out. Roger Strong and Bobby Fish run out, but Dexter Lumis crawls from under the ring out of nowhere to shock them. They end up taking Lumis down after a fight, but the referee also was knocked out. Dream takes Cole out with a purple rainmaker and flies from the top, landing on him for the pin. No referee, and the fans, you can even count yourself to 5 at least. Dream covers for the pin, no referee. As he's knocked out, doesn't see it. Dream goes back up and leaps from the top to the floor, taking down Strong and Fish as they struggle with Lumis. Dream runs back in, but Cole super kicks him to the mat. Cole runs the ropes and connects with the last shot to the back of Dream's head. Cole immediately covers to retain the title as the referee suddenly wakes back up and crawls over to count the pinfall. After the match, Undisputed Era, music hits, and Cole snatches the title from the referee. Cole stands tall, has his arm raised as Strong and Fish recover on the floor. Dream crawls for Cole's leg as we go to replays. NXT goes off the air with the Undisputed Era minus Kyle O'Reilly celebrating the win. Latest injury report with a video Matt Kemp featuring updates on NXT Superstars from week's episode. Following injuries were announced coming out of this week NXT episode on the USA Network, which are usually part of storylines for the most part. Io Shirai suffered a back contusion from the kendo stick shot she took from NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Jake Atlas suffered a strained forearm at the hands of Kushida during the interim NXT Cruiserweight title tournament match. Evolve star Leon Ruff, working as enhancement talent, suffered a neck sprain during the squash loss to debuting Karrion Kross. All Elite Wrestling returns live with their weekly AEW on TNT program from Daily's Place Amphitheater. As the road to AEW Double or Nothing 2 continues with the AEW Dynamite in Jacksonville, Florida. Featured below, complete AEW Dynamite results from the show that ended May 6, 2020. From Jacksonville, Florida, Dynamite opens up with a special video package recapping the semifinals of the TNT tournament from last week's show, which saw Cody defeat Darby Allin and Lance Archer beat Dustin Rhodes to move on to the finals against each other in the upcoming AEW Double or Nothing 2 pay-per-view. From there, colorful AEW Dynamite video opener airs to kick off next week's show. From there, we return live from Daily's Place Amphitheater in Jacksonville, Florida. The camera pans. What is a small crowd, but big on COVID-19 pandemic scale? Before we see the first glimpse of the returning AEW Dynamite commentary team of Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. The people in the crowd are none other than wrestlers from AEW. The trio run down the card for tonight's broadcast, with them closing by announcing that TNT Championship Tournament finalist American Nightmare Cody will be taking on the bad boy Joey Janela in one-on-one action to kick off the show inside the ring. Joey Janela versus Cody. From there, bad boy of the AEW makes his way to the ring, getting pyro treatment. With the opening sequence of the AEW Dynamite show itself got, by the way, he poses for the fans, and then the music fades down. Now his opponent, American Nightmare, makes his way to the ring, stopping to pose on the turnbuckle as pyro and fireworks explode behind him on the top of the entrance stage. Cody walks over and shakes Janela's hand, and the referee calls for the bell. Bell sounds, and here we go, with our opening contest inside the ring, scheduled for a 20-minute time limit. Cody wrestles Janela into a corner to start things off. Janela and Cody lock up, and then American Nightmare yanks the bad boy into a tight side headlock. Now his shoulder blocks Janela down, hits the ropes, and takes Janela down for a pin attempt. Janela takes Cody down moments later for a pin attempt of his own. And now both guys exchange a series of pin attempts and reversals in the corner into counter pin attempts, one right after another. Keeping match official Aubrey Edwards busy in the process. As the two stop to stare each other down on commentary, Jim Ross informs the viewer on it is at home that the small crowd gathered in at ringside are all staff members, wrestlers, and others who have been tested before being permitted in Daily's Place Amphitheater. Back to action, Cody is still controlling Janela as he eventually works to a spot where he is looking for his crossroads finisher. However, Janela escapes out the back door and shoves Cody, who falls throat first over the ring ropes. It's called a hot shot. This allows the bad boy to take over offensive momentum in the contest as Janela goes to work on the Nightmare. He puts the boots to the bleach-haired EVP of All Elite Wrestling, locking Cody up with a submission attempt on the mat. After escaping, Cody pops back to his feet, an open hand smack Janela in the mouth. Now the fight spills outside to the ring floor, where Janela throws Cody back into the steel ring barricade, which hurts the arm of Cody. Now the announcer takes a break, calling the action to complain about the annoyance of Shawn Spears' air horn in the crowd. Meanwhile, Cody has popped back into the offense driver's seat in this match by knocking Janela down and then hitting a moonsault off the entrance staging area down to the floor where Janela was standing. The crowd makes some decent noise and popping for that spot while Cody mugs the camera as Jim Ross tells us to check out the look on the face of that kid. The action returning to the ring where Janela takes back over control of the mat, about getting the American Nightmare down to the mat. Announce a joke about the Janela zone while Janela hits Janela elbow drop for another near fall on the American Nightmare. Cody takes Janela back up top after regaining control of the action, hitting a reverse suplex off the top rope for a near fall. Replays are shown of the top rope reverse suplex. Afterwards, we watch as Cody takes his weight lifting belt off and throws it to the fans in the crowd. Normally, Brandy catches it. He turns around and spinning into a spinning back elbow from Janela, which slows him down. However, a power slam from Cody cuts off Janela's comeback attempt. Cody leaps and jumps off the middle rope. However, he was flying off backwards. Janela catches him with a big shot in midair. Now he hits the ropes and back and forth to pick up some steam before blasting the American Nightmare, knocking him down to the mat with authority. Cody takes advantage of Janela taking too long in setting up a move, flying in one motion to the top rope, coming off with a big spot that sees Janela just barely kicking out of a 2.5 during a follow-up pin attempt, which is a shot of the chairman of WWE, of AEW, Shawn Spears, former friend turned rival of Cody. Janela and Cody are exchanging punches back and forth while the Excalibur explains that Cody doesn't want to get in a bar fight with Janela. The other two announcers agree, and it proves to be true as Janela wins the slugfest. However, Cody wins the war. And seconds later, he gets him with a crossroads finisher for the pin and the win. He pats him on the chest before getting back to his feet to celebrate the victory in this week's AEW Dynamite opener. After the match, we head to the commercial break with JR informing us on commentary that Nyla Rose will be in action later when we return from the break. And we get Kenzie Page versus Nyla Rose. We return live on AEW Dynamite with Tony Schiavone awaiting the AEW Women's Champion, Nyla Rose, after a couple of AEW Women's Division vignettes aired after we returned from the break. Schiavone tries to talk to Rose. However, the Beast isn't in the mood for a back-and-forth discussion. Instead, she cuts off Schiavone, makes a quick statement, and heads to the ring. Rose will be taking on newcomer to the AEW Women's Division, Kenzie Page. Bell sounds, and here we go. It's quick straight from the get-go that Page isn't going to be very competitive in her debut this evening against AEW Women's Champion. Within seconds, Rose has Page out of it. She eventually finishes her off with a Beast Bomb for the 1-2-3. MJF coming back to reclaim his throne. After Nyla Rose's victory, the announcer take us to a word from MJF. With that being said, we head to Maxwell Jacob Friedman, 24-year-old kid, goes on to refer to himself as exactly that over and over again after claiming many have said he's not exactly The Rock and not exactly Ric Flair, but the next level of those guys. He then finishes by standing up to reveal that he's standing in front of a green screen and someone walks by and changes his hair to a throne. Changing his chair to a throne. He pretends to stub his toe and then says he's just kidding. That he's injury free. And he says next week he's returning to reclaim his throne. He balls off. We head to commercial. Next match, we got Shawn Spears reveals the real Cody. A pre-tape. Well, it wasn't even a match. Pre-tape promo airing from the chairman of AEW, Shawn Spears, who describes to AEW fans who the real Cody is. He calls Cody the American sociopath and describes him as someone who isn't fit to carry on the Rhodes family legacy that is his father and older brother created. MJF and Shawn Spears tell each other they're great. We return live to the Inside the Ladies Amphitheater from Jacksonville, where Tony Schiavone is with Spears, who has been joined by MJF, who approaches he and Schiavone. On commentary now, to make fun of Schiavone for not practicing proper social distancing, claiming he is standing too close to him. MJF thanks Shawn Spears for revealing and exposing the truth. Real Cody, American sociopath. The two go on and talk about how great they are until Tony Schiavone has heard enough. Informs MJF that he will be facing Jungle Boy of Jurassic Express on AEW Dynamite next week, and walks away as a 24-year-old kid flips out. We head back to commercial break. Frankie Kazarian and AEW World versus AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, non-title match. What's up next? We return from the break. We see Frankie Kazarian of SoCal Uncensored, SCU, already standing in the ring. JR informs us that he just made his ring entrance, and now we hear the familiar theme music of AEW World Champion, Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley. With that being said, AEW World Champion Jon Moxley makes his way to the ring as the announcer's hype up his in-ring return for first time since defending his AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Jake Hager in the empty arena street fight. Bell sounds, and here we go on this non-title contest. One half of the former first ever AEW World Tag Team Champion, Kazarian of SCU, locks up with the reigning king atop of AEW Men's Singles Division, Moxley. Mox is already showing vintage form, punching and kicking at Kazarian to take control of the offense and early going of the bout. After putting a beating on Kazarian, Mox takes him down to the mat with a headlock and starts working on him on the ground. Kazarian eventually works his way back to his feet, and now he takes Moxley down with a side headlock. They work back to their feet and exchange chops before going back to the ground for more mat wrestling. Moxley fights back to his feet, takes over offense again after a quick trip outside the ring. Back in the ring, Moxley is still in control and is now working and focusing his attack on the back of SoCal Uncensored team member. Kazarian is firing up a bit, taking it to Moxley. However, Mox cuts his comeback short after back dropping him over the top rope and onto the ring entrance ramp, where the announcer speculate that he landed awkwardly on his leg and ankle. Kazarian's reaction supports the claim, and he immediately grabs his ankle and leg, appears in obvious visible pain as the commentary trio take us to a split screen mid-match commercial break. We return from the break after knocking Kazarian out to the floor. We see Moxley climb to the top rope. Moxley comes flying off the top rope out to the floor, but lands mouth first into a perfectly timed super kick from Kazarian on the floor. With the momentum changed in the favor of SCU member, action returns to the ring, where Kazarian gets a near fall after near fall on the AEW World Champion as pace picks up in the match, and the noise from the crowd, fans, the wrestlers does as well. Moxley fights back in the bout, but seconds later, he is the victim of a backstabber from Kazarian. And another. Frankie covers John. However, he only gets a 2.5. Both men are on their feet. They exchange chops, now exchange punches, now exchange elbows, now they exchange headbutts. Moxley with a clothesline and a drop kick. He calls for the paradigm shift, but Kazarian avoids it and locks Moxley up in a 3-on-1 submission. Moxley uses his one free leg, kicking at the face of Kazarian to fight out of the hold. Back on their feet, Kazarian counters a spear through the ropes, attempt from the outside, the ring ropes on the apron by catching the champion on his way in with a well-timed leg drop over the back of his head. Now Kazarian looks to suplex Moxley back into the ring, but Moxley reverses after a standing switch. The two return strike exchange back and forth on their feet again. Moxley cuts off the moonsault attempt from Kazarian on the top rope. Moments later, Moxley turns Kazarian into the paradigm shift DDT. 1, 2, 3, AEW World Champion continues his undefeated single streak in AEW in 2020 with a win over Frankie Kazarian. After the match, Dark Order attacks. Mr. Brody Lee delivers a message. After the match, Moxley celebrates his victory with his AEW World Championship. Out of nowhere, several members of the Dark Order come out in black attire, covered head to toe, including Face Mask. We watch as the gang beats down Moxley. SoCal Uncensored hits the ring to try and save Moxley, as Christopher Daniels and Scorpio Sky try to run out for the save. However, they end up simply being 2 more additional victims, as well as Moxley and Kazarian. Finally, Mr. Brody Lee comes out in a suit, slowly makes his way to the ring, where Dark Order members are holding up Moxley. Lee hits his tornado clothesline finisher on him before getting on the mic and informing Mox that he is just responding to the target he put on himself last week. He says this is the energy Moxley feels now. He claims to have so much he desires before pointing out that he is not the same person that he remembers seeing in the past, referring to their time together in WWE. The Exalted One of the Dark Order goes on to inform Moxley that he is unfortunate in that he has something that Lee wants, the AEW World Heavyweight title. He claims that Evil Uno has called Knox a reasonable man, so Lee challenges Moxley. He tells Moxley to answer the challenge, or they will make him. He throws the mic down next to the beaten up Moxley's face. Moxley struggles to grab the hold of the microphone. He does, and he struggles to get to his feet. He coughs in pain, chuckles and says, "Dude," before laughing again. All you had to do was ask. Mr. Brother Lee blasts Moxley and puts his attack dogs in the Dark Order on him again. The Exalted One takes Moxley's title, and they beat down the champ again in the ring. Heads to the top of the entrance ramp, poses with the title directly in front of the camera as we head to a commercial break. He is told of the title and won't fall. Brandy Rhodes responds to Jake Roberts. Brandy is shown in a pre-tape promo responding to Jake Roberts' recent mentions of her, as well as an attack of her brother-in-law, Dustin Rhodes, by his mercenary, the Murder Hawk Monster. She goes on to show a great knowledge of wrestling history, and she strolls down the memory lane and claims to know what happens next, as she has seen how Jake has handled situations like this in the past. Unlike he, however, Brandy informs Jake that he should be careful. She informs him of something her mother once told her: "You don't F with someone you don't know." She warns Jake to keep her name out of his mouth from now on. QT Marshall with Brandy Rhodes versus the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, with Jake Roberts in the corner. After promo, Brandy Rhodes accompanies QT out to the ring. He prepares for his advertised one-on-one showdown against another TNT Championship Tournament finalist, the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer. Out next is Archer, who, as usual, charges down the ring and takes out an innocent bystander out along the way. After he makes his way to the ring, announces to point out that Jake the Snake Roberts is with him. We see Jake making his way towards the ringside. Camera keeps panning to Jake, who is watching Brandy, who is also still at ringside, with a big smirk on his face, while his Murder Hawk Monster brutalizes Marshall with ease in the ring. Archer traps in one of the corners of the ring and charges at him, smashing into him. He repeats the process over and over several times on the floor. Archer hoists Marshall up and chokeslams him down on the ring apron. He rolls back onto the floor, down at Archer's feet. We see another shot of Jake and Archer starts walking towards Brandy now as we head to a mid-match commercial. Back from the break, Archer is still dominating the match, which now spills out to the floor on the outside of the ring. From the front row, Dr. Britt Baker gets involved, taking her shoe off and hitting QT with it. Before she can put it back on, however, Brandy Rhodes grabs the shoe and throws it into the empty seats way up at the top of Daily's Place Amphitheater. Back to action, which has resumed inside the ring, and Marshall gets in a couple of surprising offensive moves after all the distraction caused by Baker and Brandy at ringside. Finally, Archer hits a traditional Razor's Edge style finisher on Marshall, but refuses to cover him. He instead opts to apply what Jim Ross calls the EBD claw. That ends the match just dominantly. After the match, Britt Baker attacks Jake Roberts puts a stake on Brandy. Following Archer's victory, we see Britt Baker attack Brandy out of nowhere at ringside. She DDTs her and throws her into the ring, where Archer is waiting. As he approaches her, the announcers freak out. To the ring comes Jake Roberts with a stake. That's right, Jake just off his old WWE gimmick, carrying a live stake to the ring and putting it in Brandy's face, rubbing it into the grill of Mrs. Cody Rhodes. As the announcers react in disgust, we head back to commercial. Announcers run down some news. Announcers run down some more new matches for AEW Double or Nothing, as well as matches for upcoming episodes of AEW Dynamite. Taz interviews Darby Allin. We're then taking backstage interview where AEW broadcast team member Taz is with Darby. Taz asks Darby about coming up short in the TNT Championship Tournament, semifinals against Cody Rhodes last week. He brings up the fact that All In pinned himself, which prompts the first negative facial reaction from Darby. From there, Taz goes on to claim he can help All in areas that he feels he needs some assistance with. The results in Darby Allin pushing the microphone away from his face before walking off without ever having said a word. And now to run down even more news. Shoot back to your announce table where JR, Shimoni, and Excalibur run down more matches, segments, and other announcements for upcoming episodes of AEW Dynamite, including virtually the entire lineup for next week's show. The Sex Gods of Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Broken Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega. Your main event. We are now witness to the electric ring entrance of the team of Le Sex Gods, Inner Circle duo of Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. The two make their way to the ring, while some of the fans, mostly notably and hilariously, obnoxiously, MJF, sings to the theme of Chris Jericho. We had a commercial break as the Le Sex Gods continue their ring entrance ahead of tonight's tag team street fight main event. Back for the break, we're treated to the return of AAA Mega Champion and one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, Kenny Omega, the Elite member, makes his way to the ring by himself for his team first. Out next is a tag team partner, Broken Matt Hardy, who has an awesome ring entrance. As Broken Matt Hardy wraps up his cool ring entrance ahead of his AEW ring debut. He bites the fingers of Sammy Guevara, pointing it in his face, which gets this tag team street fight main event underway. Immediately, the babyfaces duo of Hardy and Omega jump off to an early offensive lead in the featured bout. Hardy drops to his hands and knees as Omega runs from the corner to the ring. Jumping off the back of Broken Matt on his way towards the leaping onto Guevara in the corner in a very Hardy boy-esque spot. Portrait in motion. Hardy and Jericho are now fighting up the entranceway, looking like they're going to fight through the entrance tunnel and to the backstage area. However, instead of Jericho and Guevara gaining an offense upper hand of the contest and work on double teaming Omega in the ring, while Hardy is laid out on the outside of the ring. Returning to even the numbers game back to 2-on-2 is Omega's partner. However, he is broken no longer. As the old school Hardy Boys, managed by Michael Hayes, looking version of Matt Hardy, helps Omega take back over the offensive momentum in their favor. The two work together well, with Matt hitting some of his old spots, including the twist of fate. Now, the two get Jericho out of the ring before taking out Guevara and retrieving a ladder and a table from under the ring. They return inside the ring where they set up the table and ladder next to each other. Guevara is now placed on the table as Hardy ascends the ladder. He does the hand gesture, all on the old school Matt Hardy, before coming off with an old trademark Hardy flying leg drop, putting Guevara through the table in the process. Jake Hager appears to be getting involved at ringside now, slowing down the momentum that Hardy and Omega had well in favor at this point in the contest. As Jericho re-enters the picture of the heel duo in the Inner Circle, we get help from Hager at ringside. They take back over offensive momentum as we head into a split-screen mid-match commercial break. Back for the break now as the action spilled outside the ring again. And outside of Daly's place, amphitheater outside of the adjacent TIAA Bank Field Stadium where the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars play. Thus, they get stadium match for a future event. We see Omega powerbomb Guevara into a steel garage door before avoiding a Hager onslaught and blasting him with a running knee. In comes the champion who rolls a cart into Omega to take him out. And now it's a joke about pineapple feet being Chris Jericho's opponent next week on AEW Dynamite. True, by the way. Jericho jacks Omega and slams him onto a post outside Daly's place. He grabs a big orange traffic code and puts it on his head and yells, he, before blasting Omega with it. Now, Omega blasts Jericho with a be careful, slippery, wet sign. Hardy, whose arm was bleeding before being stuffed into an ice cooler, returns out of the ice box at Damascus. Part 2 of your main event of your AEW Dynamite. For those who watch it on Daily Motion, this is it. He and Omega get into the golf cart together and back up. They pull a U-turn and build up some speed before blasting into Guevara with a golf cart with momentum. They rev it up again and ride it fast towards Jericho, who is still laid out. They exit the golf cart and beat up Jericho some more before laying him on a table. Now Omega ascends a scissor lift machine. He is up high. Now as Hager beats Damascus from behind. Omega comes flying off with a moonsault, taking out all 3 guys in the process in a spectacular fashion. All 4 guys are on their feet now, 5 including Hager, and the fight continues. They brawl to another golf cart where Jericho and Guevara climb on top and come flying off. Jericho, after being helped by Santana and Ortiz, has all the members of the Inner Circle combined to take out Hardy and Omega. Jericho then ends up hitting Judas Effect on Omega for the 1-2-3. Inner Circle pose as Jim Ross thanks us for tuning in. The Sex God, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guerrero win the match. That'll do it for this week's show, and also my results for this week. I didn't get any ratings, and I'll post that on next week's show. Thanks and peace out. See you on video. If you don't know, just call me, Brother Sisters.